Hello, world. Thanks for joining for our first ever Future Fun 10 Live pre-show. And tonight is our second ever Future Fun 10 Live. So we are hosting you from my living room while you are in your living room. And we have with us a funder herself, our winner from last year, and a coach who has helped us get all of these teams ready to present tonight. So Tiffany, let's start with you. You are a Future Fund member, and this is your first year with us, right?
Yes, it is. It's been a great year.
We love it. So tell us, when did you want to join Future Fund, and why did you want to join Future Fund?
So I actually attended the Future Fund 10 Live event last year, and that was my introduction to Future Fund. I was floored. It was an amazing event. Just the impact that the event was able to have and the organization as a whole was so attractive to me just based off of that one event.
We were ready to roll again this year with all the organization, but we got Corona. So, well, I'm glad that you enjoyed the event last year so much. It was the first one. So everybody who came, it made a huge difference that you were all there and enjoyed it. So now tell me what you like most about Future Fund.
Oh my gosh. I think the thing I like most is the level of reach and impact that you're able to have with just a small contribution as a member. So I know, other nonprofits or philanthropic efforts that I'm a part of. I'm not always able to see kind of that huge impact that my donation is able to have. But with the Future Fund, it was just amazing that something that seemed small on my end could grow and contribute to so many organizations in such a great way.
Yes, same. And for all of you listening, our hope is that with these 10 finalists tonight who are going to present, that you will make notes about ones that you want to be involved with in Greensboro and reach out to them. Speaking of reaching out, Tiffany, if people just like you tonight find that they would love to be part of the Future Fund, number one, who qualifies for that? Who should join? And if they want to join, how should they reach out?
Oh my gosh, everybody should join. We want everybody to join. The best way to reach out, we have two ways. So one, we have a membership email. So you can contact us at membership@futurefundgso.com. Or you can go to our website where you can find out tons of information about Future Fund itself and also join there. And that link is futurefundgso.org.
Awesome. Tiffany popped right in with us and became a membership chair. So she has jumped in and made that process so easy. And we are so happy that you joined us, Tiffany.
Oh, I'm so happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
I might pop back over to you in a little bit, but now let's go on and talk to our coach. Candace, you there?
I'm here.
Hello. How are you tonight?
I'm good. How about you?
Good.
I'm excited. I'm ready for 6 o'clock to
kick off the show. I know. Did you watch the show last year?
I did not, but I watched all of them from the repeat, from the recording. So
I didn't even know we had a recording. So that is awesome. So talk to me about what the coaching process has been like.
So this has been my first year being a coach and my first time really getting involved with Future Fund. So I really look to past coaches for advice, best practices. And really, my number one responsibility was just being there, my number one supporter for my finalists. I wanted to support them the whole way through this process and even after tonight.
Yes. Yep. So for people who may want to get involved and be part of the coaching committee in the future with Future Fund, tell us a little bit about what the process looks like between when we choose the finalist and tonight.
So we have meetings already set up where we bring our finalists in. We meet with them individually. We have video sessions where they record themselves and we give them feedback. There's also a time where just the coaches are together and we get feedback on how to be that best advocate for our finalists. And so it was really just a cool experience just to see, I went through college and everything and knew how to do a speech, but it's just cool to get little tidbits on, things you can do to just add to your everyday life.
Yeah, especially when we get such great advice. Some professionals come into our coaching events. There's about 3 or 4 of those throughout the process, I think.
Yeah.
And even some of the members, we love just hopping in and going because it's so motivating to sit in and listen how all of us can be better throughout our life.
It is.
So what did you learn this year as a coach?
So as a coach, I learned you can learn something from everybody, the finalists, the other coaches, the Future Fund members. There's always something to learn. And just because we all come from different backgrounds and upbringings, we all have something to give. And just allowing a person to talk and to show them that you're listening to them really adds values. Like you said, the experts that would come into our meetings, they would just teach you just like not basic skills, but just little things you wouldn't really think about. I know one of the best times I had was our last gathering. And before each finalist went, we would give them 3 words that describe them. And just to see that impact and that influence on them,
That's awesome.
It just kind of like released that tension of the speech and they forgot all about it. And so they were more comfortable. And so just being able to be involved in that and to give them that motivation was real impactful.
Good. They might have gotten a little bit of a pass this year, not having to be in front of a live audience. They get to be behind their computer screen. I'm sure it'll be just as impactful nonetheless.
It will. It definitely will be.
You got anything else you want to share with us about tonight or the coaching process?
I just want to encourage everybody to just give all the finalists so much encouragement, to go through this process and then have to change things can be like a whirlwind. I don't even know if I could do it. So we just got to give them our all and just show that support no matter who wins tonight. All these people are doing impactful and important things for the Greensboro community. And so we have to be advocates and support them and show them that the community has their back.
Yes, I love that. All right, might pop back to you, Candace. Thank you. If you're just tuning in, we are doing our first ever Future Fund 10 live pre-show. We've heard from a Future Fund 10 member. We've heard from a coach. And now we're going to talk to our finalist winner from last year. So, David, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well. I'm actually glad I'm not having to be one of the 10 folks because last year was a nerve-wracking experience. We were all throwing up in the bathroom just prior to coming out.
Oh, I don't believe
it. I was an actor once in New York City, and it felt like being back in like in an audition room again. And so people's nerves are there. So, but the coaches, the folks who put this together, the sponsors, were so remarkably encouraging and thoughtful and giving that I think we all kind of rode that energy. So I'm nothing but excited for the folks tonight. Thanks.
Awesome. So David was our large pot winner last year, and he is with Faith Action in Greensboro. So David, tell us a little bit about what Faith Action did with the winnings.
Yeah, we were thrilled. A lot of nonprofits know that sometimes you're just trying to keep the doors open. And that's a struggle for basically any nonprofit in their lifetime. So to be able to have these extra funds, to use it freely, to give directly to the people we serve, love, and protect on a daily basis was really freeing. And we were able to help 125 newcomer families from Sudan to Syria to El Salvador with over $30,000 worth of direct help that paid for rent, for bills, for health, and for legal needs. Just recently, we used the last little bit on a Guatemalan woman who gave birth in a pretty traumatic way outside of a hospital here in Greensboro, and her husband wasn't able to be there because he was detained 8 hours in a massive detention center in southern Georgia. And so we were able to use the last little bits of this funds not only to help provide some urgent health care and housing for this woman and her new child and her toddler, but also along with some Faith Action funders, all combined our funds to get her husband out on bail a few weeks ago so they could reunite again right before a coronavirus outbreak at that detention center. So, the Future Fund funds actually were life-saving in this particular case.
Wow, sounds like it. And it's so awesome to hear the stories from the nonprofits. You guys will hear a lot of those tonight in the pitches. And every time I hear them, I get the goosebumps. So I hope this is a goosebump-filled night for everyone. And thanks for sharing that story with us. So I want to know, how did being at FF10 Live impact your organization across the board, besides from just the winnings?
Yeah, so we have a lot of outstanding nonprofits in this community. I've been here now for 10 years and we partner with dozens of them, and many more than just 10 deserved here to be here tonight. But the 10 that you chose are all outstanding. We know and work with a lot of them personally. So whether they win a prize tonight or not, I really hope that everybody watching is not only thinking about where my vote's going to go, but is there a particular story, whether they win or not, that really captured me? And could I use a part of my stimulus check, maybe 100 of it to join the Future Fund and the rest to go to that nonprofit if you have the ability to do that? And so it was just a huge shot of confidence for us to feel like we were truly accepted by and valued by this community. And it really set the stage for a lot more great things to happen. We were one of 5 out of 500 nonprofits internationally that won something called the Open IDEO Bridge Builder Award Prize, and the only North American selection to share $1 million prize to expand our ID card program to 10 new cities. I
Wow,
feel fairly
congratulations.
confident, thanks, that I may not have had the confidence to go ahead and spend numerous weekends applying for that had we not been a part of and had the privilege of winning um, the the Future Fund Prize. So it was a massive shot of confidence. But I can't stress enough that every single organization last year and this year deserves everybody's support. And so I'm just excited for them. And like I said, I hope they have fun. No big deal if anybody messes up or slips up. Give each other a little bit of grace and have fun. And you're bringing great energy, and everybody else is. So I'm excited.
Awesome. We are tickled that you're back with us again this year. I want to know too, what did directly the coaching that you went through for the 10 Live process last year? How did that impact y'all? What did you take away from it?
Yeah, Rich and his team really, along with the coaches, did a really nice job. We're lucky to have them in our community. They know how to get the best out of each person, whether you happen to have been an actor or never have done any kind of talk at all. They explain things in a way that made people understand just how important stories are to helping nonprofits thrive. There are some nonprofits that are doing amazing work in our community, but may not have the capacity or have been a little too humble to share their story. And there's others, not necessarily in Greensboro, other places that may not be doing a whole lot of work, but spend all this money on sharing their story and get all this hundreds of thousands of dollars. And I'm just like, ah. So it's a gift to the nonprofits that are a part of this to learn how to better tell their story, and combining that with Future Fund to get that exposure is just a winning team. And I especially appreciated the coaches and the storytelling folks. They really didn't try to make anybody be anybody other than who they were, their authentic selves. And I hope, my guess is you're going to see that tonight, that nobody's trying to act or perform here. And I really appreciate nonprofits that do that. And I hope that people watching tonight listen, not just for charisma, but listen for authenticity. That was something Rich and his team would say a lot. And I know the coaches believed in that too.
Good advice. Awesome advice. We also have a scorecard available to download. If you go look at our Future Fund Instagram, a lot of the things that David's talking about, you'll be able to rate each organization that talks tonight. So go download that so that when we have the show going, you can take your notes. Candace, I want to pop back over to you.
Talk to
So
me.
not every coach is a member of Future Fund. The coaches come from all over the community. A lot of us will just kind of say like, ooh, this person could be great for it. So how'd you get pulled in to be a coach?
A colleague slash friend that I know, who is a Future Fund member, she just reached out to me and suggested that, I look at it, see if I like the opportunity and was interested. And, the more I looked into it, I was like, yeah, I had been thinking about getting more involved in Future Fund anyway. My organization that I work for, we have another young professional organization called Synergy. So we work with the Future Fund quite a lot. So it was already on my mind. And so after the first night, I just knew like this is it. Like this is the perfect opportunity to get to know Future Fund and get to know more nonprofits that are in Greensboro, because it's amazing to learn about the work and the passion that all these nonprofits have.
Yes, yes. And we get, for all of you watching, probably we got more than 30 applications come in this year. And as funders, we all get together and choose top 10 finalists based on videos, application, and we try to get a very diverse group just so that, everybody can see what all's out there. And Tiffany, were you with us on reading night this year?
Yes, I was. It was amazing.
It was. That, aside from FF10 Live, reading night is my favorite night of the year. Want to tell us a little bit about what reading night meant to you and how you enjoyed it?
Yeah, I mean, just the energy that's in the room. So we're, broken up into different groups, kind of going through all of the applications, and you just really get to hear their stories. David mentioned just being able to understand that about the different nonprofits. You really get to understand them better at that level. From the videos and then the applications. I mean, you just start to fall in love with them. So it becomes a really, really hard decision.
It does.
To pick 10 from 30 plus. I mean, it's really hard.
Yeah, and we would love to be able to put all 30 through, but it just doesn't have quite the impact. So we have been so blessed with so many nonprofits that apply every year. If you're a watcher and you want to be a funder or a nonprofit, encourage them to apply. Speaking a little about the application night, we do get into groups and we start to really fall for these people, don't we, Tiffany? We're like, no, I think, these people, what about this approach, and just how can we get the most nonprofits out in front of the most community members of Greensboro? So I think that's my favorite night other than this. Do you have another event, Tiffany, that you really look forward to participating in with Future Fund?
Yeah, so there are tons of Future Fund events that we hope everybody will be on the lookout for. Every month or two, there are different social events. Just to bring members together, even people who are not members who are just interested in getting to know more about the organization. There are some more formal events where we're actually going to places that's bringing our families along with us, more family-oriented events, to just kind of hanging out downtown and just getting to know one another better. So there's something for everybody, moral of the story. If you're interested in, just hanging and more informal gatherings, we got something for you. If you want something more structured, we got something for you. So please come be on the lookout and join us.
That's a great way to put it. There is something for everybody. So do any of you have any last words before we start to get closer to showtime?
I'm going to plug membership again. Please join. This is an amazing organization.
You will not regret it.
No, I'll be reaching out to Candace over there. And
yes. Candace, what's it going to feel like when this is over and you're not a coach this time around anymore?
I mean, I'm gonna miss my finalists. It's like my finalists and my other coaches. It's like we're a little family. We all check on each other, and it's just been so much fun. But as far as last words, I just want to wish all of the finalists best of luck tonight, no matter what happens. Thank you for all you do. And thank you to Future Fund for this opportunity to these nonprofits, because it's a major impact and very appreciative.
I thank all of you for joining me. David, thank you for coming back again this year, and thank you for your continued support of the Future Fund. Anything you want to say to our people?
No, just well done, everybody, for Future Fund for making this to work. I think this portion of it has gone great. And again, whether your choice wins or not, shoot them an email, shoot them a check, support all the organizations that are a part of this year, last year, nonprofits in general, and way to go, Greensboro.
Yes. Well, thank you all for tuning in. This was our first ever Future Fund pre-show. Now that we had to make our event remote, we're so tickled that you're here. We can't wait for you to come to the event next year. Look out for details. Reach out to join Future Fund. Reach out to be a coach. Can't wait for tonight. You'll definitely get goosebumps. And we'll see everyone soon. Thanks.
Bye.
The murmurs in the room stir as everyone is trying to figure out when the doors will open to rush in and grab their seats. The energy is electric and the audience is anxiously awaiting the beginning of a night where they get to shape the future of our community, not just some committee behind the scenes. It's a Tuesday night in downtown Greensboro. File in, everyone, and let's get this thing started. We have 10 amazing people ready to share their story on why they deserve to win $20,000. There aren't enough seats. Wait, did we oversell the tickets? This is our first year and we sold 350 tickets. All right, I guess all the Future Fund volunteers will have to stand. Make room for the guests. It's time to buckle up, sit back, and make an impact. Welcome to this year's Future Fund 10 Live presented by Brady Services. I'm Jeff Jackman, the 2020 chair of the Future Fund.
And I'm Shamira Aslan, 2020 vice chair of Future Fund. And we're so excited that you're here, there, and everywhere and watching us right now. After watching the sizzle reel of last year's Future Fund 10 Live, I'm thinking that if you did not attend or watch us last year, I don't want to say you missed out, but
Shamira, they definitely missed out. As you can see from that video, it was incredible. It was our first year for this Shark Tank meets nonprofit pitch style event, and we sold out Triad Stage. We gave away almost $45,000 in one night, and we had a blast introducing the community to our finalists.
I know it was so cool to be there together, but Jeff, the good news is that since we're all under stay-at-home orders and doing our part to hashtag flatten the curve, this year we're taking it completely virtual so everyone can watch. That means everyone watching right now gets a vote to give away $20,000 to our winner.
Voting with money that's not even yours and giving it to an innovative nonprofit, that's a win-win in my book. People, text your friends and family right now so they can log on and watch this awesome event.
That's a great idea, Jeff. And it's not like we're gonna go anywhere, so.
Well, so here's how things are going to go down tonight. We're going to hear from our Future Fund 10, the 10 finalists who have been working for months on their pitches to showcase their passion and innovation for their nonprofit. Each nonprofit will present their 3-minute pitch that they only had one shot at recording for us here tonight. And at the end of the pitches, we will reveal where you can go to cast your vote with the special password for the Brady's People's Choice $20,000 winner. Don't worry, the money's not going to stop there. Future Fund members will vote for the $12,000 and the $8,000 award winners. The coaches who have been working with each of these nonprofits directly will award one nonprofit the $3,000 Coaches Award. And we're going to announce the winner of the $1,000 Community Vote Award that's been happening. In all, we're going to give out $44,000.
That's a lot of money to give to some great nonprofits doing work right here in Guilford County. Oh, and can I just take this time to remind the Future Fund lifetime and annual members out there, if you're a current funder, please check your email from yesterday for your special link and password to vote. And don't forget to check your spam folder.
Silly spam. Ugh. Anyways.
Let's not forget, we want you to engage with the finalists. Usually we do that in person, but this year we're going to get creative. So we want you to engage with us using the hashtag FF10Live. Show us your Future Fund cocktail, how you're watching, and who you're watching with. Also, don't forget to email our finalists after their pitches to volunteer your time, your talent, and treasure. The best part of this whole event is the community connection. So now let's talk about how to choose who to vote for. Our finalists were chosen by Future Funders based on innovation, sustainability, and impact. So as you watch tonight, take notes.
I'm going to be drawing up my scorecard right now. Here it is. Oh, that's not my scorecard.
And I've got one my daughter drew.
So we've also got one posted on our website, linked in the comments below. So go check it out.
And Jeff, you know there's a group of people who we couldn't do any of this without. So let's give them a shout out.
Absolutely, Shamira. We need to thank all the mice that spin the wheel to make the internet work so we can broadcast this event. I also personally need to thank the Golf Channel for playing Masters reruns all last week so I can get my fix. And my wife and I want to thank Netflix for the Tiger King.
No, Jeff. The real people we need to thank.
Oh, that's right. We probably need to thank our sponsors, huh, Shamira? So the Future Fund is an endowment of the Community Foundation of Greater Greensboro. And all the money from our members goes into that endowment fund, and all the proceeds the endowment produces each year goes to our nonprofits. So we can't do anything, this event, coaching and support for the finalists, really anything at all without our sponsors.
And our sponsors were especially amazing this year. When we decided to go virtual, they continue to step up and support us. So we'd like to thank all our sponsors. You truly know what it's like to support our community. Thank you. A special thank you to our presenting sponsor, Brady Services. They stepped up to sponsor this event when it was still a twinkle in a future funder's eye, and they're supporting us for the second year in a row.
Good evening and welcome to Future Fund Live. This is Jim Brady and Louise Brady, and we're virtually with you this evening, and we're really excited to be a sponsor for the Future Fund Live again this year. As part of Brady's purpose statement, we think about caring for each other, caring for our customers, and also caring for our communities, and that's really what the Future Fund is all about. One of the big things we want to do is continue the culture of educating young people and Triad residents about the joy of giving to others. And we're really excited to be a part of Future Fund Live again this year. Louise?
Hello. First time I've had a shower in maybe a month to get on this video, but we're thrilled about the flexibility and creativity of the Future Fund folks to do a virtual event. Last year was so much fun, and I think there was a whole bunch of buzz around what the Future Fund is and how much fun they're having and how they're impacting the community. So now it's just shows another way that young people coming together can do great things, and we're going to be able to hear from 10 great nonprofits, and we can't wait. So thank y'all for supporting it and help us recruit more and more members because it's a great organization. Thanks.
Thanks so much and enjoy. It's going to be a great evening. Thanks.
Yeah, a big thank you for Brady Services and the Bradys for all that you do. Our impact sponsors of Extraordinary Inc., Truliant Federal Credit Union, and the Greensboro JCs are also great partners. We'll hear about them and all of our sponsors after the pitches, so stay tuned.
So let's start.
One thing before we start, Shamira.
What's that, Jeff?
The reason we're all here virtually.
Oh, how could I forget? I've been working from home, homeschooling my daughter. It's been really tough out here with COVID-19.
I know. I think my wife wants me to take the dog out for a couple more walks each day.
In all seriousness, it's tough, and that is one of the reasons why we want to keep this event scheduled. We know these finalists will provide a ray of sunshine during these difficult times.
Yeah, they're doing great things. They have so much passion for their organization, their programs, and their community, our community. They've been working on these pitches long before COVID-19 changed our world. So some of their programs will change to reflect the new world ahead of us, but their passion won't. These are innovative people who continue to create with the challenges ahead.
That's right, and I can't wait to see what they do now and in the future. So without further ado, let's start on our pitches.
In 2019, there were 600 individuals counted living in Greensboro that experience homelessness every day. Most of those individuals are afflicted with generational poverty, and their existence is like quicksand. They have no home to quarantine themselves in, no couch to binge Netflix on, and no kitchen to walk into to make their coffee every morning. We know that the number of individuals who are unemployed or who experience homelessness will grow significantly in the coming months, and those individuals are going to need a helping hand to navigate their new normal. The Interactive Resource Center is that hand. We exist for people who lack the basics of life that we take for granted. Free healthcare for people with no insurance, showers and a laundry room, a place to check your mail. We're family for when you are all you've got. We're already addressing day-to-day survival. Now we want to address long-term independence. Our solution is IRC Delivers, a transformational social enterprise model that will serve as a training ground for greater job opportunities in the future. Employees of IRC Delivers will be earning a living wage of $15 per hour, delivering goods from businesses in the downtown area with e-bike delivery carts. This program offers opportunity, accountability, and dignity. We have the bikes, we have the people, we have the program. Now all we need is the technology. With $20,000, our partners at Code the Dream can create an app to run our program, dispatch and manage deliveries, as well as track participant success. Our dream is to expand this program after 1 year to provide as many individuals as we can with experience that will ultimately help them to transition out of homelessness and into self-sufficiency. I'm representing the IRC, but more than that, I'm representing the population that we serve. I asked our guests what they would want you to know, and this is what our guest Willie Mae told me. She said that people look at you like you aren't a human being, and not being able to have shelter or a safe place to stay without trespassing and invading someone else's property feels inhumane. You don't have a shower inside a house so you can get cleaned up for an interview or just to have good hygiene. Willie Mae got housing 6 months ago, and she said that now she can look out her window or turn on her TV to see what the weather is and to know what clothes to wear. Now she walks into her kitchen to make coffee and turns on her stove to boil water and make her breakfast, just like you and me. Her dignity has been restored, and now she has hope. Thank you.
When I say actor, what kind of person comes to mind? Are they in a wheelchair? Do they have Down syndrome? How about severe autism? You see, most of my life, I thought to be an actor or actress, you had to look a certain way or have a certain ability. And then in 2015, I was cast in the Community Theater of Greensboro, or CTG's The Wizard of Oz. And I had the pleasure of sharing the stage with a young man named Gabriel. Gabriel lives with cerebral palsy, and his body just won't do what others are blessed to do. Let me tell you something about Gabriel. He's an actor. He was able to follow his dream because of a program CTG offers called Onstage and Inclusive. Onstage and Inclusive is CTG's way of saying, yes, you can, in a world that too often says, no, you can't. At CTG, our work has been and will always be rooted in our mission to serve everyone in our diverse community. Onstage and Inclusive is a 2-week program for kids and adults with special needs and varying abilities. Participants are teamed up with inclusion specialists and performance coaches to create and star in a Broadway-style production. We focus on communication, creativity, teamwork. The feedback is consistent. This program changes lives. I've learned from other Onstage and Inclusive performers like Mike and Callie and Claire that we're all just artists, full of love, and there are no limits to what someone with special needs can achieve. Here's the reality. Right now, yes, our doors are closed. The stage is dark, and we're among the unemployed. But I will not let that serve as an excuse to step aside, to forget about this program or these friends of mine. There's an entire community of people whose real lives look similar to what we call quarantine. This program isn't about singing and dancing. It's about acceptance, inclusion. It's about teaching real world skills to those individuals in our community who are the most eager to learn them. It makes sense that funds are being directed toward the base of Maslow's pyramid right now, but I'm inviting you to remember the programs and the people who might be marginalized in all of this. Remember Onstage and Inclusive. Right now, we're not able to serve all the Gabriels, Mikes, Callies, and Claires of the world, maybe even someone you know and love. But with your help, we can. Winning tonight would mean tackling the space limitations and the accessibility challenges we face. It would mean more than 1 2-week program a year, serving more of this community. This is your chance to help us set the stage for the future of Onstage and Inclusive, to change lives, to stand with the special needs community and say, yes, you can.
It's okay if you did not understand what I was saying, but my father understood what I was saying. 24 years ago, I was a scared little girl living the only home I have ever known. For reasons I did not understand, when I asked my father, how are we going to live in America? During the Vietnam War, my dad and many other Monsignors, known as the Mountain People, fought alongside the U.S. Special Forces. Once the war ended, my dad and countless of other Monsignors were put in prison at the re-education camp in Vietnam because they were helping the United States. In 1996, my family was granted refugee status to resettle to the U.S. For my dad, this was a second chance in life. This was an opportunity for his children to go to school. Sadly, My father died before I graduated college, and he did not get to see me working in an organization where I help people, the same organization that helped my family when we first arrived to the United States. The Monsignor Degas Association, also known as MDA to the community. MDA has been supporting the community for over 30 years and has served over 10,000 of people throughout North Carolina, including my family. MDA helped us with services like finding us jobs, teaching us English, and helping us to obtain our U.S. citizenship. Today, MDA is still providing services to the community, especially to the elders. Now, these are the elders who fought alongside your dad, my dad, or your grandparent during the Vietnam War. Today, many of these elders are suffering from chronic health condition. Many of them cannot read, write, or speak any English, so they need our help. And this can be accomplished through our youth. With this grant funding, we will be able to fund 2 projects. One, this grant will support a scholarship program to our Monsignor youth who speak our languages, who can work with us to provide services to the elders. 2, our culture, our tradition, it's dying out. So the other part of this grant funding will support culture preservation projects such as language classes. As our community continue to grow, our needs have increased. With your vote tonight, we can continue to provide vital services to the Greensboro Monsignor Elder and to preserve our dying culture so that we will never forget of who we are or where we came from. Thank you. Like Jack Lou.
What was the biggest rejection you ever felt? Have you ever desperately needed someone to be there for you and they said no? The person who told me no was my dad, over and over and over again. That was my biggest rejection. Cheyenne was rejected 65 times. 65 times she needed someone to be there for her, and 65 times all she got was no. Cheyenne's mom abandoned her twice, 56 different foster homes, 7 failed adoptions, 65 heart-crushing no's by the time she was 17 years old. As you're watching this, there are 501 children in Greensboro's foster care system. Removed from their home because of neglect and abuse, the data shows youth aging out of foster care are the most broken group of young people. When youth like Cheyenne turn 18 and age out of the system, they pack up all their belongings in a black trash bag. And all that trauma and the 18 years of no's, well, they pack that in their broken hearts and they set out to take on the world, one emotionally hobbled step at a time. Within the first year, 50% will end up homeless or in jail. Those who make it past year 1 are unemployed at best. And that was their prognosis before COVID-19. But I have some good news. Youth Villages created the only evidence-based program of its kind to help these young people thrive. We teach them crucial life skills, help them find housing, continue their education, and find employment. And we're on call 24/7 for anything they need. We basically do what any loving family would do. We help them find a hope and a future. And this hope that I'm describing, it's not just a feeling, it is a fact. 2 years after leaving Youth Villages, more than 86% of youth are living successfully in a home. They have a degree or diploma, and they have a job. And our success rate is twice the national average. Now, $20,000 from the Future Fund will guarantee 12 Greensboro youth have a home, have an education, and have a job. And if that's not motivation enough, think about this. The cost to our community for just one foster youth who doesn't make it, $300,000. With your vote tonight, we can help these 12 young people, and we can save our community $3.6 million. And we can use that money to buy other stuff, like ventilators and masks. Now, look, I know we're all in crisis right now, but the reality is foster youth were already in crisis every single day and long before the pandemic began. And now they're suffering more than ever. And look, we need your help. So for all the no's that foster youth have heard, for all the no's that you and I heard tonight, you have the chance to say yes. Yes to the children in Greensboro's foster care system. Yes to Cheyenne. Yes to that part of you that longs for healing. Tonight, say yes to Youth Villages.
God has smiled on me. He has set me free. That song is important to me. It's the only song that I was able to play on my saxophone before my father died. And it was hard. And my mom, being a single mother of 5, kept everything working, kept the family going. And she also kept up the payment on that saxophone until my senior year of high school. And that's a struggle. And that's a place that many Greensboro families find themselves. What do you do when you're struggling and you have a child with a passion for music? Music is a door of limitless potential. As a music educator here in Greensboro, I can tell you how it stimulates both sides of the brain and how it's linked to academic success. But students that are struggling, they don't care about that. They see music as the thing that is stable in their lives when their world is shaking. That's what it was for me. That's why I started the Gans School of Music and Jazz. It's an organization that opens the door for good instruments and private lessons. Music is expensive. A good instrument can cost about $1,000. And music lessons, it can go upwards of $240 a month. And if you're thinking about how much food you have to put on the table, that can be an issue. And kids like to eat. So here's where we make a difference. With your vote, we can do 300 lessons and 10 instruments for students who wouldn't be able to afford it otherwise. That gives us an opportunity to actually make an impact, because every child deserves to be able to afford a quality instrument and music lessons, regardless of the parents' bank account. May God bless you and your family.
We all have a story. Mine changed forever when I was 16. You see, I knew I was gay, but then somebody called me a dyke at school in front of a crowd. I wasn't ready to share my biggest secret because I didn't know if my family would accept me. Lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer kids are more likely to be rejected by their families and kicked out of their homes. They're more likely to sleep on couches, shuffle between foster homes, and live in emergency shelters. In fact, 40% of all homeless youth identify as LGBTQ. It's hard to shelter at home if home isn't an option. Last year, I met Brian. He had been removed from his biological parents and rejected by foster families because he's transgender. He told me that no one loved him. No one would ever love him. And there was no point in living. But we visited him at the shelter. We told him we cared, and we showed him what it looks like to be a successful queer person. Brian's going to graduate high school next month and go to college this fall. Our LGBTQ center saved Brian's life, and his smile tells our story every day. But not every story is a success. Last year, we lost a kid to suicide. LGBTQ youth are 5 times more likely to attempt suicide than their heterosexual peers. So we celebrate successes like Brian's in the shadow of suicide. To do more for LGBTQ youth, we created a leadership program, Squad Up. Squad Up prepares teens for a world that doesn't always accept them for who they are. My mom hoped being gay was a phase. She didn't want my life to be harder than it needed to be. But I told her what I tell kids today. Life is a lot harder if you try to live it without being your authentic self. So now I live every day authentically, and my mission is to give others what I didn't have. And last year, over 300 youth visited our center looking for support, and we made sure they found it. Now we're preparing for a dramatic increase in that number when the center reopens. And as we navigate this strange time, we have an opportunity and a responsibility to make sure our youth survive this. So we're ready to grow our program. And with $20,000, we can double the number of youth served, double the number of Squad Up sessions offered, and make sure LGBTQ teens have a place to feel at home. Because we all have a story. Your vote tonight will give hundreds of youth the ability to write a better story for themselves.
Operation Excel. X, excellence. C, community. E, education. L, leadership. Operation Excel breaks the school to prison pipeline and demolishes generational poverty. I understand that firsthand. My mother went back to school to get her bachelor's and her master's. We went from homemade furniture and clothes to store-bought, from driving a Gremlin to cruising in a Chrysler New Yorker. Poverty demolished. In 2008, God blessed me to start Operation Excel with 22 youth. We now have 5 sites serving 300 kindergarten through 8th grade youth. One of those sites is Jackson. Unfortunately, 60% of the students are below grade level. One of those students, Michelle, came to us as a 6th grade student reading at a 2nd grade level. She is now in the 8th grade and she reads above grade level. She went from being shy and unsure to having hope, joy, and confidence, from not making eye contact to being on the softball and the wrestling team, from cautious to vibrant. At our after-school programs, which are free, students overcome academic, social, and emotional deficits. When we get to after school or summer, it's on and popping. No sitting down and being lectured to. Everything is hands-on fun. Instead of one teacher with 25 to 35 students, our ratios are 1 to 11. We offer individualized enrichment in reading, math, science, and robotics, along with activities that build social competence, emotional intelligence, and leadership skills. We involve the family, whether that's mother, father, auntie, grandma. Some of them have gone back to school just like my mother. With $20,000, we can provide 540 hours of instruction to 200 additional youth. 75 adult parents would get the skills that they needed, like financial literacy or others. Now more than ever, with this COVID environment, we see a great digital divide where our children are not being able to access the virtual learning. We need you to help our students catch up by voting for Operation Excel.
Imagine with me, dirt floors, center block walls, makeshift wiring running through a wet attic. The smell of mold and mildew are enough to knock you back. You want to cover your nose, but then you remember that this is someone's home. This is Ralph's home. He lives here alone. He's lived here for 57 years. It's the home that he and his wife raised their family in. I had no idea that we had neighbors living in conditions like these. And from the looks on the faces of our volunteers that day, I could tell they're thinking the same thing. Ralph also has cancer. I think of my mom, who's also in that battle. My mom has her husband and her family. Ralph is alone. My mom were alone. What if my mom were living in a home that was falling down? What if my mom had to choose between food and medication or fixing a leak in her roof? Community Housing Solutions is a small local nonprofit construction company. We provide home repairs to homeowners in need, neighbors like Ralph. We are there to help when no one else is. 75% of the people we serve are elderly or disabled and cannot physically or financially afford to do the work on their own. Nearly half the people that we help are living in extreme poverty. The grand prize of $20,000 tonight is nearly double their annual income. This past year, Community Housing Solutions engaged more than 800 volunteers to impact the lives of more than 150 homeowners right here in Guilford County. That's 150 neighbors like Ralph. We have an army of volunteers that stand ready to help. We have the people, but we need the funding. We need the funding to purchase the materials and supplies to make the life-changing repairs. For Ralph, this was insulation to make his home warmer, a new roof to make it drier, handrails to make it safer. Before these days of social distancing, I stopped by to visit with him. He was so excited to tell me that his home is toasty warm and dry now. And he shared the great news that he is cancer-free. I celebrated with Ralph that day, just as I had celebrated with my mom the month before. I am so glad Community Housing Solutions was there to help Ralph. We are there to help when no one else is. And during these uncertain times, I am so blessed to live in a home that is warm and dry and safe. Please help us to ensure that all of our neighbors in need have the same. Thank you.
One in 8 kids has a parent dealing with substance abuse. My Aunt Bonnie was one of those kids, which is how she wound up in foster care. My grandparents fostered and loved her her entire life. She was part of a great family, but that didn't stop her from wondering what might have been if her parents could have overcome their addictions. We started Freedom House to answer her question and to make sure that other kids didn't experience the same trauma as my Aunt Bonnie. At Freedom House, we keep families together. Moms bring their kids with them into our long-term, Christ-centered recovery program. Despite overwhelming evidence that clearly shows moms recover best when they are with their kids, there are very few programs like Freedom House. Our model really works. In fact, our success rate is 4 times higher than the national average, and our relapse rate is 4 times lower. In the first year of our program, we model what it looks like to build a healthy family as we surround moms and their kids with love and support. They get the education and counseling they need for healthy living every minute of every day. They participate in our employment training program at our thrift stores, which has led to nearly 100% job placement upon graduation. Over and over again, I have seen these families transformed as they learn to balance a healthy lifestyle. Kids overcome educational, emotional, and developmental setbacks, and they start to thrive. It's amazing to see. In the second year, they practice this healthy lifestyle, but more independently. They live in one of our houses rent-free. Moms have a car and a job, and they're saving up for a home and a life they can be proud of. They thrive in our local communities, and they become mentors at Freedom House. Right now, Freedom House serves 30 to 40 people per year. 3 years ago, we purchased 110 acres so that we could build a campus and triple that number. To accommodate that growth, we planted an acre of strawberries and started Freedom House Farm last fall. Our plan was to grow our farm slow. However, COVID-19 forced us to shut down our thrift stores, which is our primary revenue source. In response, we immediately expedited Freedom House Farm by planting 3 additional acres of produce. We're seeing an abundant harvest from our strawberries. And with $20,000 from Future Fund tonight, we can plant more seed, which will generate enough revenue for us to sustain our program throughout this pandemic without interruption. And as soon as we're able to reopen our stores, we will be in an even stronger position to help more families in the future. We want to see more transformation and more generational change. And your vote tonight will allow us to plant the seed that will make that possible. Thank you.
Some of the most exquisite things are found in some of the darkest, dirtiest, and ugliest places. For an example, diamonds, pearls, emeralds, rubies, diamonds. There was a time in my life when I was in a dark, dirty, and ugly place. Dropping out of school in the 7th grade and walking the streets of Baltimore led to depression, running with the wrong crowd, making bad decisions, experimenting with drugs, and eventually a heroin addiction. My life was like a fast-moving freight train barreling down the tracks out of control. Well, that train finally crashed and derailed when I landed in the Division of Corrections in the state of Maryland. I was so bad, my inmate counselor told me, "I'm gonna leave your file right here on my desk. You will be back." Her words cut me like an old rusty shank. And to this day, I don't know if it was the pain from what she said or because I believed her. One day while walking the yard, I was cussed by an old dude. He was like, "Young blood, something about you, you different." He saw something in me I didn't see in myself. As we walked that yard, he began to tell me he was serving a life sentence. He began to ask me questions like, have I ever had steamed lobster? Driven a convertible with the top down? Took a vacation to an exotic destination, a location? He knew he would never get a chance to do any of these things. He knew he was destined to die in prison. I didn't want to die in prison, so I had to make some changes. In 1995, upon my release, I never could have imagined or realized the road of reentry would be so hard and so rocky. In 2005, on a job transfer to a beer distributor right here in Greensboro for my 2 girls to have a better way of life, I was denied the job because of charges that dated back over 20 years ago. That's when I realized I had to create my own door of reentry to walk in. I walked into that door with the opportunity to help men and women not only chase their dreams, but achieve success. Today, I can tell you success stories like Dana Daughtry, who went from addict to entrepreneur. From Larry, who went from robbing drug dealers right here in Greensboro to being his own truck owner and operator. From Claudia, who's in a prison in West Virginia, who just sent me her business proposal that has a training program for people who have faced incarceration. See, your vote is not a vote for me, it's a vote for the Larrys, the Danas, the Claudias. Your vote is a vote for the next Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Gandhi, or the Apostle Paul. See, all these men faced incarceration. However, with the right support group behind them, they were able to change the world for a better place once they got home. Nelson Mandela once said, we should not judge a nation on how it treats its highest citizens, but its lowest. Victor Michael Vincent tells you, we don't throw away diamonds, pearls, golds, emeralds, or rubies. We shall never throw away people. Thank you.
That was awesome, Shamira. What are your thoughts?
That was so amazing. Everyone knocked it out of the park.
I agree. So now the moment we've all been waiting for. It's time to get out your devices. It's time to vote. So here are the organizations again.
Interactive Resource Center, Community Theater of Greensboro, Montagnard Dega Association, Youth Villages, Gant School of Music and Jazz, Guilford Green Foundation, Operation Excel, Community Housing Solutions, Freedom House, the re-entry expert.
And here's how to vote. Go to futurefundgso.org and click the Vote Now button. You will need to enter a password. Enter We Love Future Fund, all lowercase, no spaces. 1 vote per person. You're gonna have 10 minutes to cast your votes. Now, if you missed a pitch and want to rewatch, all the pitches are live on our Class of 2020 Nonprofits page. We also encourage you to email your positive notes and thoughts to each of the finalists. Typically, we engage in person after these pitches, so let's engage by email today. You'll find emails for each of these finalists on our webpage under the Class of 2020 Nonprofit Finalists page. Now, tally up those scorecards and make your vote for the organization that captured your heart. Vote at futurefundgso.org.
And don't forget, if you're a Future Fund member, you get to vote for the $20,000 prize and special Future Fund prizes through your link. It should be in the email sent yesterday, and don't forget to check your spam. And for everyone else, don't forget to go to www.futurefundgso.org and click the Vote Now button. You will then need to enter a password. Enter We Love Future Fund, all lowercase and no spaces. You get 1 vote per person.
This program is a lot more than what you see here today. Some of you may be thinking this was great, but what exactly is the Future Fund and how does it all fit together? As you're voting, let us tell you a little bit more about our group.
So there are 3 parts of Future Fund: the funders or the members, the FF10 program, and the live event. Funders, like me and Jeff, are the members of this organization. We donate $150 each year into the Future Fund endowment, or $1,250 for a lifetime membership. We are young professionals in the Greensboro community who are informed and knowledgeable philanthropists and want to make Greensboro the best it can be. The grant money we give away each year comes directly from our membership. And in return, we get to be part of shaping the future of Future Fund and its impact on our community. We host social events throughout the year, from art tours, yoga, quarterly volunteer opportunities, to meeting up at a local restaurant or brewery. We volunteer with finalists, we spread the word of philanthropy, and most importantly, we help put on this hallmark event you're watching right now and the program that goes with it.
And Shamira, since we've been around for 20 years, we have funders of all ages, right? So we have people who choose to help our organization through their donations. You can be involved a lot or a little. And while you can donate to the Future Fund to give to the community directly, you can also attend our events. We also have many people who choose to be involved and active on a committee. We want to thank our executive committee tonight for working tirelessly in the last few weeks to make this event happen and transition to virtual.
We also have our Future Fund 10 program, the programming for our finalists, who you've seen give their pitches here tonight.
Yep. These finalists were chosen by future funders from over 50 applicants. They then become the Future Fund 10 class of 2020 and get a host of support. They get things like a 1-year membership to the Guilford County Nonprofit Consortium, a headshot, coaching, the opportunity for consulting from the Bryan School of Business, and all of this publicity. Most importantly, they gain connections with their mentors, their coaches, and with each other. And they become part of the Future Fund family who is here to support them as they need it. And let's not forget that they connect with you, the audience. We want you to connect with our nonprofit finalists after this event. Volunteer, get involved, share your time, talent, or treasure. On our website, futurefundgso.org, you can find the email to each of the finalists.
Besides all this that Jeff just said, they also receive coaching from community members who volunteer their time to help them hone their skills and their pitch. They have attended 3 mandatory sessions with their coaches and countless of extra sessions and texts and calls and Zooms to hone their pitch you see tonight. Thank you to our 2020 coaches.
The coaches learned some new skills too along the way. So with help from our master coaches, Sarah and Rich Schlentz, they consult with companies all over the world and choose to donate their time to help these finalists. We are so lucky to have them and their company, Extraordinary Inc. Here's more on what they do.
They're so talented, and I always feel so pumped up after a coaching session.
Me too. I really feel like I could go out and go give a TED Talk after listening to them.
So the third area of Future Fund is Future Fund 10 Live. This event is where the hard work of all the Future Funders and the Future Fund 10 program come together into an energizing and evening to celebrate philanthropy in Greensboro.
And we definitely couldn't have Future Fund 10 Live without our sponsors. All the money from the Future Fund endowment goes directly to those nonprofits. So sponsorships are crucial to host this big event and give the support to the coaches, the finalists, and members throughout the year. We want to say thank you to our sponsors in a really big way.
Our catalyst and presenting sponsor is Brady Services. Brady Services provides customers with a diverse range of HVAC and building solutions, including building automation, energy conservation, green design, performance contracts, access controls, security, mechanical systems, parts and supplies, as well as world-class technical support. After 55 years in business, Brady Services remains a family-owned enterprise, today employing over 450 associates.
Our impact sponsors are Extraordinary Inc., who helped us coach our finalists, and we have the Greensboro JCs. The Greensboro JCs, the Greensboro Junior Chamber of Commerce, is an organization for young adults who seek to become active citizens. They become active citizens by partnering with local community leaders and organizations to participate in activities that address our community's needs.
And we also have TruLiant Credit Union. TruLiant is a not-for-profit financial institution that doesn't answer to stockholders, just your best interests. Let's learn a little bit more about them.
Financial success is never one size fits all. We know it's first homes and Sunday drives. From the teaching moments to the promises kept and dreams realized. That's why at TruLiant, our only focus is you. We're here to help you create more moments like these. TruLiant Federal Credit Union. Talk to us. Let's discover your real life improved.
Thank you to those sponsors.
And let's not forget our other sponsors. The UNCG Bryan School is an innovative sponsor.
Our collaborating sponsors are the Brooks Group, Charles Aris, Iberia Bank, Matthews Mobile Media, Northwestern Mutual, Silver Shutter Productions, Tried Business Journal, and Tried DJ and Events.
Our catering sponsors who helped us at events throughout the year are Crafted, 1618, Gia, Melt, Mediterranean, and South End Brewing Company.
And thank you to our cultivators and supporters. We're so appreciative of all you do for us and helping us make this program such a success.
We've told you more about all the wonderful companies, volunteers, and people and organizations that make this program run. If you want to learn more, please go to futurefundgso.org and contact us. And we'd love to have you be a part of next year's big event.
And we'd love to meet you and tell you more once we're all out and about. But for now, I can't wait.
Me either. So, Shamira, it's about time to find out who won, don't you think?
I think so. Let's do it.
right. We are here live and ready to tabulate the votes.
Awesome. So good news is that we had over 800 viewers and tons of fun tonight. I'm so proud to be a member of Future Fund and so thankful that it was started over 20 years ago as an initiative of the Community Foundation of Greater Greensboro.
Yeah, me too, Shamira. We have to give the Community Foundation major props for starting the trend of getting young professionals involved in philanthropy. They had a major vision back then to start the Ann Lineweaver Future Fund Endowment to get this program started.
Plus, they had a great inaugural chair, Louise Brady. So thank you so much, CFDG. So Jeff, I have to ask, who'd you vote for?
Shamira, I'm not going to be telling you that. There were so many great organizations. So let's see who won. See, they're all at the top of your screen. Say hi to the finalists.
Oh, hey guys. So we can't wait to announce the winners live.
Wait. First, all the finalists are winners, Shamira.
What do you mean, Jeff?
So I just got word that an anonymous donor stepped up to award every nonprofit who does not win a big award tonight $1,000 cash. Nobody's going home empty-handed.
Yay! That makes it even better. All right, let's keep that money train going. Woo! And give out more grant money. So just to recap, our awards tonight are the community vote that happened from April 1st to April 19th for $1,000, the Coaches Award for $3,000, the Future Funder Awards that are chosen by your Future Fund members for $8,000 and $12,000, and lastly, People's Choice Winner Award for $20,000.
All right. So let's announce our first award winner. The community vote recipient who will receive $1,000 based on the vote from April 1st to April 19th is Freedom House.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Awesome. So let's announce our Coach's $3,000 prize. Congratulations. Some drums. The Reentry Project. Yay!
Awesome stuff. Ready to go, Vic. Cool. All right. And now for the $8,000 Future Fund Members Award. Drum roll, please. The Guilford Green Foundation.
Yay!
That's awesome.
Awesome. So next, the winner of the $12,000 Future Fund Members Award. So these are voted by the Future Fund members. Congratulations, Youth Villages.
Way to go. Wow. All right. So Shamira, that means there's one left. So it is time for the Brady's People's Choice Grand Prize recipient of $20,000. A big congrats to Freedom House, $20,000 winner.
Amazing.
Wow, clean it up. That's great stuff.
Awesome. Well, that's it. We've just given away almost $50,000.
Yeah, and thank you everybody for helping us do it tonight.
And we hope to see you in next April in person, live at the Carolina Theater for a big night. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.